Nuwapian culture, because we have our culture. This is how we greet our family, our elders, and a part of our culture. This is a part of our culture. It's called Huhi Kaa Oum. If y'all can say this with us, that'd be beautiful. Huhi Kaa Oum, all right?
Huhi Kaa Oum.
Ready?
Huhi Kaa Oum.
Huhi Kaa Oum.
Huhi Kaa Oum.
There you go, my brother. All right, so please give a round of applause for all the brothers that spoke before me. They did an amazing job. And also give a big round of applause for yourself. First brother that spoke, he talked about changing the molecular structure of water. And we literally did that today. Because when I woke up this morning, it was a 56% chance of rain. I knew that, right? It was supposed to be raining right now. And then as the day went on, it was 30% to a beautiful day like this. It was literally sunny all day. Oh, we call them Nuwapians, you know what I'm saying? My brother, strong Nuwapian brothers right here. We call Nuwapians, and one aspect of our culture is Nupu. Nuwapu is our culture, which my brother's gonna break down, but Nupu is our mission. It's what we're out to do, to save the world literally. Because when we talk about Nupu, what Dr. Malachi New York did, he noticed we had a mental illness. Because we want to talk about an illness, the health conference, the biggest illness we have is mental. Because it's our mind that can change the molecular structure of matter. It's our mind that determines our health. It's our mind that determines our relationships, right? So what Dr. Malachi New York did, he decided that, yo, our people are literally under a spell. And that spell that he was referring to was the spell of Abrahamic religions. It's the spell of ignorance. I'm talking about Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. You notice I said a format. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, which stemmed from Samaria in ancient Egypt. But what they did was they took our knowledge and information and manipulated it and gave it back to us with their image on it. So mentally, even though we're conscious, we still have all these images in our mind. So the format I gave you, Dr. York decided to come and tear that off, and opposite. So he came with Islam first, because Islam is the actual last religion. After Christianity is Islam, right? And then you had Christianity, he took us to the school of Christianity, right? And then took us back to Judaism. So he literally took his time and broke the spell on us. So that's the most important thing that we have to understand, that we have a mental illness, right? That's why we don't love each other. That's why we can't, support black business. Why is it so hard to support black business, but we love Chinese food? Black food is great, but look at my brother over here, KT, with the beautiful vegan food, right? If KT had his spot in New York City, they're gonna support everybody else but him, because it's a black face on it, right? That's a mental illness, right? And Dr. Malachi New York, he came through to break that spell. That's what Nupu, a particular aspect of our culture, is. So wherever you go, whether it's Detroit, New York, Atlanta, Miami, you're gonna see Nuwapians propagating, because it's up to us to lead our people back to where we were when we talk about ancient Kemet, right? Or the Dogons. We're bringing that science back to our people. So we're breaking the spell on the mental. So our culture, what is our culture? Please, my brother, explain to them what the culture is.
Peace, family. The Nuwapian nation, like the brother said, isn't really a religious group or an organization. We are literally a nation. So when you say I'm a Nuwapian, you're claiming your true nationality. The true title is Nuwapian Yamasee Washita Seminole Creek. That title literally identifies with the native African Americans that was here first. So when they talk about the natives that were indigenous to America, that was you, that was Africans, by way of the Olmecs. Because the Olmecs came in from Africa, they walked, because all the continents were one landmass at a certain point in time. So they walked over from Africa and came here in America, in California, in that region of America. So when we say Nuwapian nation, we're not talking about religion, we're not talking about a social group, we're literally talking about your true nationality. So we as Nuwapians, the main thing that we teach is culture. How do you dress? How do you talk? What language do you speak? What language are you learning? Where do you go? What time do you wake up? What do you drink? What do you eat? More specifically, what do you eat? What do you put it in your body? This is everything that coincides with culture. So, like the brother said earlier, natural nature is our culture. So we're not following a certain book. You weren't born with a book. You were born with right knowledge, because the people who had right knowledge were those who studied natural nature. So if I tell you, we as Nuwaubians don't eat meat, that's not just a rule that came down that we following. That is a code of natural nature, because you don't want blood inside of you, because that causes cellular mutation, which is the offset of cancer. And we all, black people, are dying of cancer, and that's coming from the meat. So when you practice natural nature, you're right in accord with your body. We are practicing the culture of westernized Caucasians. We eat what they eat, we listen to what they listen to, we live our life according to their standards, which is why we are so out of our mind. We are not in our natural state, in our pristine purity, because we're following behind every other culture. Your culture is your true power source. So when you look at the Arabs, the Chaldeans, the Chinese, they all practice their culture. They building businesses in your community because they practice their culture. A place where you don't practice your culture. You come up looking for another culture to practice. So like I said, you're literally outside of your mind. So Malachi Z. York is deeper than just some leader. He is literally a living principle. But what's the living principle? The living principle is culture, and he's giving us back our culture. So we are also learning our true language, which is Napatchin or Nuwaubian. These are the original tones that we spoke in the Nile Valley. And this is all a part of Nuwaubian.
All right. Another aspect of Nuwaubu is kind of different. Nupu, Nuwaubu. There's different angles to Nuwaubu. The era of, also the Dark Ages, or this 6,000 years destructive cycle with the Adamite religion, what do we practice? There's one key thing that every indigenous people practice. Can anybody tell me what that is? What does every indigenous person practice, or tribe, or culture practice prior to the Adamite religions? Do you guys know? Huh? No. African people, we practice animism. Animism is the idea and the concept and the fact that everything in nature is living and vibrating. Everything in nature. Plants, trees, flowers. And I'll give you an example. When you look at a flower, right? What some flowers do, they literally send out pheromones, right? To bees or different insects to come and pollinate itself. Did you guys know that? You know what I'm saying? So that shows that nature is not only here like a plant. It's thinking, it's vibrating. Did you guys also know that if a plant is getting attacked by ants, it will send out pheromones for different insects to come and kill the ants that's destroying the flower? That's right. This is natural nature. Ancient people knew that nature was alive, it was a thinking, it was a living being also. If you look at a tree, let's say, there's two trees standing next to each other, these two. If there's a tree in the middle of these two trees and it's dying, these trees will release water from itself to heal the tree that's dying. That's pure mental. Do you know it's nature that allows us to breathe oxygen? The carbon cycle. Think about that. And now, when people look at the sun and ask like, yo, the sun is the primary life giver to our planet, our solar system, right? Why wouldn't that be a living and thinking being? The sun thinks, and the sun gives off energy. How could we be smarter than the sun, and the sun is billions of years older than we are? How could we be smarter than the sun? How can we reason? Look, reason. Ra or Ray, Zun. The sun is a primary source of reason. It decided to create the planet in the manner that we have today. It decides that they want to revolve, like the brother said, the 24,000 years, which we call the procession of the equinox, right? I say 24,000 years because it's 24,000 years plus some, right? So when you put it all together, it will go to 25,000 years. The science will tell you that 25,000 years. There's a term for this. Plato called this the Great Year. And where did Plato get this from? We all know that these Greeks were studying African science, Egyptian science. I mean, they worship Egypt. You had worship of Egypt and Greece until the Catholics, when Constantine decided, or the Pope decided to destroy the Alexandria Library. They were worshiping Africans. You know what I'm saying? So when I go back to, when we talk about animism, we're talking about natural nature, living and thinking as an actual being. So when we first got here, it was raining a little bit, and I came to the brothers, I was like, listen, y'all know what aspect of our culture is animism, right? And all three of us acknowledge that nature is alive, and our ancestors are within us and all around us. So what we did, I took the two brothers to the back tree over there, we took some fruit, y'all can see it over there right now, and we did a libation to our ancestors, and asked the ancestors so it would not rain. We didn't only do this, y'all did it with us too, because y'all decided to come out here, and that way mentally, you know, you guys are changing the atmosphere for us today, and nature's on our side. So we're doing something powerful like this when brothers are giving information and knowledge. We're changing our environment, because we used to have something called the rain dance, where we could literally stop it from raining, because we have control over the weather, and that's what they're taking from us when they put fluoride in our water. I know we have fluoride predominantly in our water, right? Especially predominantly black neighborhoods. Because they know mentally we have the ability to change the future, to create the future. We have that ability. We talk about a new era, we can make that change right now. But they make it their priority to attack our mental, our planetary pituitary bodies. And attacking our mental, you know, we talk about sound and vibrations with the music that we take in, or the music that we give, because we're literally vibrating on a different musical era right now, because they understand how music transforms our body, it transforms our mental. And then they have to attack us on a chemical level. We put in fluoride, lead, you know, bleach in our water, which attacks our reasoning. I don't know if y'all recently read that they found pharmaceutical drugs in the water system. Have y'all read that article? Y'all seen that video on the news? That's recent. So when you talk about things that stabilize your mood or hormones, it's important for them to attack us on a hormone level, because we're testosterone-ran beings, the males, and we are the nucleus of our family. Remember, Dr. Yoke said the black woman is God, and she is, right? But the black man is the nucleus that those electrons vibrate like we're working with an atom, right? So if you attack that man as the nucleus, then you primarily attack that family, you primarily attack that culture. So my brother was talking about the black family and how they literally give us misinformation about the statistics. But what we do know is that we're under attack. What we do know as much is that we under attack when we look at the school-to-prison pipeline. I was locked up 3 times. I have 18 brothers and sisters from a polygamous family. All the men in my family was locked up, at least once. And these are some of the best men you ever find. Like, they have beautiful families, some of them are practicing polygamy in the correct way. But they all been through the jail system. We wonder, like, how did these brothers, I mean, one of my brothers, Aquarius, the nicest man you ever find, he got locked up, you know. We're literally talking about a system that drives the black male in the jail system, right? And elevates the black woman. Did y'all know the black woman is the #1 graduating person in America? Over the Chinese, over the Asian, and the white man and the white woman. It's the black woman, it's the black God. They give her that doorway. They cannot destroy her, because the black woman has the mitochondrial DNA, which is the key to humanity. So they're not fighting the black woman, because they want to marry the black woman. They want to procreate with the black woman, because right now white men are there at the end of their cycle. They cannot go into the sun cycle. National Geographic said in 2050 everybody's going to be of color. What does that mean? What does that even mean? 2050 everyone's going to be of color? That's 2050, that's like tomorrow. And now you wonder why you're seeing all these interracial relationships. They need to survive. The black woman is really important. So when you talk about the black male, we're going to send them to the jail system. And when you talk about the school-to-prison pipeline with the zero-tolerance law that they implemented within the schools, what that does, it attacks the male's mental condition from conception. Because when you go to school is designed to send him to the prison system or the jail system, right? So when you have the black woman, she's studying, she's excelling in school. The black male is literally under attack. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
Y'all know about the school to prison pipeline, right? So what the black woman has to understand is she's being used as a tool to destroy the black family. I'm not saying the black woman is consciously doing this. I'm not saying the black woman is destructive, but I am saying the black woman is in an Alice in Wonderland. Black men will sell some drugs on the street, but we'll sell some drugs on the street because we want to get that woman right there. We want to get that girl. She's super bad. We want to survive. We want to feed for our family. We have certain men that have such a bad felony record, they can't even properly provide for their family, so they have to figure out different ways to provide for their family. I know because I have a felony. So, when you look at the black man, so the black man is a problem, the system is kind of designed for the black man to be more strategic and figure out different ways to provide for his family and to provide for his tribe. So now let's talk about the welfare system. This is so topic, I just have to touch this because this was, really affecting my mental lately. When we talk about the welfare system, what we do know is if you have a husband or not, as a black woman, if you're pregnant, all you have to do is be pregnant and the government will take care of you, right? But they will take care of you to the next level if you don't have a man in the household. Azaza Ali talked about this. She talked about how the welfare system was set up to break up the black family. You understand what I'm saying? Because a black woman, she'll get subsidized housing if there's no man in the household. And she can still get funds if the man's in the household. Let's not forget about that. Actually, both of them can, the family can, right? But your man might cheat on you, he might talk to you bad, domestic issues, which is a big problem in the black community, is just domestic issues. We don't really have no control over our family, but we'll mess with another woman and you'll be like, you know what, I'm putting this nigga on child support, it's over. This nigga's on child support, you know what I'm saying? Because of emotional issues, not thinking of the long run, not thinking about, damn, we got 3 kids and they need a black father to, help the mental construction of that child's mind, the mental development of that child's mind. We're thinking of this nigga cheating on me, so it's over. We know as human beings, even if you feel like you can't connect on the emotional level or mental level, y'all can't be together, y'all can still work hard to take care of that kid together. Not fighting them with the court system, the judicial system, because we know, like I explained, the judicial system of the U.S. government is destroying the black male because we don't benefit them. We're a danger to them. If every black man had sex with a white woman right now, and I'm by no way, promoting interracial relationship, because that's GMO right there. That's genetically modified action within nature, because you're literally mating with a mutant. But I'm saying, we can fuck them out of existence with our masculine energy. No, for real, we can fuck the white race out of existence, which would destroy them naturally. So, with that being said, when we talk about natural nature, right? You laughing, you know I'm right, son. We can literally fuck the white man out of existence. And that's why in slavery they were like, chop off our manhood, you know what I'm saying? It's an envy. The sister that just passed, Frances Cress Wilson, she broke that down, the fear of the black male penis. So, the black woman, y'all important to us, but y'all really important to them. Because you can save their genetics. Now I'm gonna go into my build, I just have to get that out the way. So, when we talk about health, mental health, right? We have to understand genetics affect everything that we do mentally. Everything that goes on here is affected by our genetics. If your parent has diabetes, your parents, heredity in general, we pass down everything to our children. That's what you call heredity, right? Your children is literally a carbon copy of you. So when we talk about our genetics, we have to understand that a living body, when I said every aspect of nature is alive, our genes is alive. They're vibrating. The actions of a red blood cell and a white blood cell that attacking different foreign things that come into the body. When the male ejaculates into a woman, those sperms are automatically attacked because you're talking about conscious beings inside of you, right? In the medical field, because I worked at Harlem Hospital, one thing that came into the hospital every single night was people with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Right? These are mental disorders. Schizophrenia is when you are think in your head, I want to kill myself, I want to kill somebody else. I'm hearing voices in my head telling me do this, do that, and the third. Those are people saying they're hearing voices in their head. And then you have bipolar disorder people who switch moods. They'll be happy right now, and they'll be mad the next second, right? They also hear thoughts in their head. People with bipolar disorder, they tend to hear thoughts in their head. Are you guys aware of that? Okay. So one key thing that Nuwapians we do know, and ancient African spirituality we knew too, is that when we talk about ancestors or ancestral spirituality, our ancestors, how are we, think about it. We know that energy does not die, all it does is transfer, right? Everyone knows that, right? So I know fundamentally we do not die. There's no such thing as death. There's no such thing as death. If you don't know, look that up. Energy does not die, all it does is transfer. All we are energy. Everything in nature is energy. So now, when we go to our ancestral worship, that's the most misunderstood thing in science today. Because before I explain that, I'm gonna go to one thing the reason why science cannot comprehend African spirituality. The reason why they cannot comprehend African spirituality is because they cannot comprehend quantum physics. Quantum physics is beyond the natural, when I say natural laws of science, that's their science, not African spirituality. Quantum physics is on the other side of things. Quantum physics tells us that matter is not really solid, but moving at ultra fast speed, right, or vibrating on a different frequency where we can not figure that out. Why is this hard? When literally this is all vibrating at different speeds of energy. Matter is an illusion. They say 99.9% of the universe is made of dark energy and dark matter. Did y'all know that? So, if white people cannot understand quantum physics, how can they understand African spirituality? African spirituality is beyond this physical realm. When we talk about quantum physics tells you something called spooky action at a distance. Anybody ever heard that term before? Spooky action at a distance. Spooky action at a distance when you observe a particular particle, it's in one spot. But then when you turn away from that particle, it's moving at lightning speeds everywhere, wherever you want to go, wherever you want to do. That's why this what we call matter is literally an illusion. We're stuck in an illusionary cycle thinking this is physical. And that's why the brother said we can change the molecular structure of not just water, but matter in general with our mind. That's African spirituality. So when we talk about our ancestors, white people don't know what the fuck we talking about. They don't know what the fuck we talking about. Let me tell you why. Because we have to understand that I hope I'm not going all over the place. I hope I'm not going all over the place. Good. This is the Nuwapian, man. This is how we rock. So, staying on topic, our ancestors, they're living beings, they're vibrating beings. But they're not just out there. We know that ether, astral, and physical are interpenetrating things. The spiritual world is interpenetrated with the physical and astral and ether. Do y'all know that? So when we talk about our ancestors are not just out there. They're in our genetics. Are y'all get what I'm saying now? With heredity? So when I say, I'm hearing voices in my head. Someone's telling me to kill myself. Someone's telling me that I want to molest this particular woman. I want to, all these crazy thoughts. It can be negative or positive. I'm just giving y'all a drastic, example. These thoughts are sparked by our ancestors within our DNA. As Nuwapians, we teach that we're affected most by 30 recent ancestors. I just explained to you guys, which is a fact, that our genetics, our genes are conscious beings. And the nature of a gene is to pass on its genes to its offspring. So when I say you're a carbon copy of your child, not only are your child's a carbon copy of you, but you're literally exchanging magnetic electric energy to your children all the time. You can be in another state. There's a connection that cannot be removed from you and that child, because that child is you. Even when you die, you're gonna live on through that child. That's why ancient tribes used to kill off a whole tribe that had beef with you, because they knew that you can incarnate within your child, or if not your child, you can incarnate within your niece or nephew, because they share the same genetic ancestry as you. So when we talk about ancestral spirituality, ancestral worship, you're worshiping yourself, because you are everything. but you're more connected to your ancestors, which affect our mind all the time. Anybody meditates out here? Raise your hand one time. Okay, this is the problem I had. When I first started trying to meditate, I'll sit down, like, I'm just gonna quiet my mind up, sit down. I close my eyes. Thoughts is going all over everywhere in my head. Did y'all experience that too? It's just thoughts, like, it's a battle to calm or stop your thoughts. Why is it so hard to clear? Like, if you close your eyes right now and try to clear out your thoughts, you're gonna be fighting yourself to clear out your thoughts. Because constantly, there's thoughts in your mind before you go to sleep. If you try to go to sleep, and thoughts is just everywhere, you're just thinking about everything, that's not always you. That's ancestral voices affecting the mental. Think about that. Our genetics affect the way we think. If your father or your parents have a mental disorder, you can have a mental disorder. For real. Because that affects us. Think about it. You can pass on diabetes. You can pass on sickle cell. This is heredity. So we're talking about a connection with our ancestors. You understand what I'm saying? So right now, we have to understand one of the most simple concepts that we always talk about is ancestral worship or animism. African people, we're animists by nature. And that's one of the greatest injustices they did to us, is took away our animistic culture. Our animistic culture, like I stated, we know that everything in the universe exists, or is a living being, a thinking being. More than a living being, is a thinking being. Because plants think. That's how they grow. That's how apple trees are able to produce with the same level of heredity that we have. Did y'all know that? Plants. Even if you talk about DNA, our DNA acts the same as a tree's DNA to produce sugar. One of the most fundamental things, because we evolved with the matter of this planet. You know what I'm saying? We may not be from here. I don't know if that sounds crazy. We may not be from here, but we evolved physically with the matter of this planet. So literally, you're a cousin to a tree. A tree is your distant cousin. Because some of these trees existed before you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's on a genetic level. So we have to understand that heredity don't just work with us, heredity work with animals. If you breed different animals, they'll come out differently according to what their ancestors had. Like if you breed a white and a black dog, a German Shepherd with a pit bull, it's gonna give you different variations from their parents. This is heredity and this is natural nature. Nature is thinking constantly. Nature is actually thinking more than we are. Because if you know about numerology and astrology, your life is almost planned out. Think about that. Your life is almost planned out. This is me. I thought I knew everything in the sense about myself, or I thought I figured myself out for a second. I thought I figured myself out. But when you go to, everybody's telling me I have to go soon. Was I talking that long?
Yeah.
God damn. So when you, I thought you think you figured yourself out. But when you talk about numerology, nature works on your behalf to create a pathway for you. As a spiritual conscious being, you could probably choose, I want to come down here and do this prior to forgetting that memory. But your life is already planned out. If you look at your numerology, they call it your life path number. I was surprised. Last time I looked at my life path number, it told me everything I used to do and everything I'm going to do. I'm like, this is spooky. Like back to, that's one thing, African spirituality is spooky. People talk about pseudo. The people in the quantum community that talk about pseudo do not understand quantum physics. Because everything about quantum physics is what you would call pseudo. African spirituality, voodoo. It's scary, it's spooky because they're spooky people. Look at the Haitian uprising. That's spooky. We killed off every fucking European at the time, the Haitian uprising. You know that?
Everyone on the island.
Everyone on the island. And whether it be the French, you know what I'm saying? They would try to come in, we would just work them off. They had to take a Tucson level toward body and cut it up into many pieces and separate it. That's Buddha right there. They did the same thing to Osiris. With what? What did they say they did it with? African spirituality, African rituals, invoking people like, you know, Oshun, you know what I'm saying? Just different ancestral beings that came through and murked these crackers. And that's what they're afraid of. Because in our mind, we have a link to God. 75% of Caucasian people they have unactivated pineal glands. What does that mean? Pineal pituitary body. That's the thing that produces melanin. That's the thing that gives us a link to the astral, to the ether. If white people can't connect to the ethos, they cannot connect to God. That's why we say the black man is God. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I have to touch this because this is another topic that a lot of niggas be tripping me out with. Is the black woman being God. When Muslims say the black man is God, niggas like the black man is God. And then when we say the black woman is God, niggas like, damn, I don't know, the black woman is God? Damn, my oldest bitch, child support, like, the black woman is God? What you mean the black woman is God? How yes, the black woman is God? How the fuck could anybody be here if the black woman wasn't God? Do you not have a belly button, nigga? Yo! Do your mother? Yo, come on, man. Yo!
Let it out, bro. Let it out.
Yo! Does Adam have a belly button? That's the Wapian question. Is the black man God, nigga? No, nothing on this planet cannot come from a woman. What do they call it? Mother Earth. If I want to fucking create an apple tree, I'm gonna take an apple seed, I'm gonna drop it in the ground, and who's gonna create the apple tree? Mother Earth. Sometimes I have a baby on the way. Sometimes I just don't feel important because I got her pregnant, but the baby's just, every time I touch the stomach, the baby's kicking me, punching me, doing all that stuff. But the fact is the baby is being created, molded in the mother's womb. She's a creator, she creates. I just feel like smacking some of y'all niggas sometimes. The niggas just be like, yo, the black woman ain't God, the black woman God. It means it takes two. Do y'all know it all starts with one? Look at the single cell organism that sprung off from the amigo to the protozoa. We're talking about nature. How could you have life without a woman? Why do they not call it Father Earth? Why do they call America her? You ever think about why they call America her? Because it's like this land that nourishes us. The woman is the primary source of life. She creates that. We come through her that triple darkness. We know Elijah talking about triple darkness. That's the triple darkness. We're coming through her womb. The black woman is God. Can I please get the black woman is God?
Black woman is God.
Can I please get the black woman is God?
Black woman is God.
But please, let's not get too spooky. Because when we say the black woman is God, I want y'all to understand that. I don't want y'all to just take me for, this nigga's talking that shit, that black woman is God shit. The black woman is not God of the universe. The black woman is the God of this physical realm, egotistic niggas. The black woman is the God of this physical realm. Nothing can come through this physical realm without the black womb. That's what I mean. I don't mean that there's a black woman up there, dancing, just creating everything. Just like there's no nigga up there creating everything. When we talk about absolute nature, I'm coming, brother, I'm coming. When we talk about absolute nature, we're talking about a duality. But the reason why we say the black woman is God, because they call it mitochondrial Eve for a reason. Mitochondrial Eve means that everybody on the planet comes from one woman in Africa. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know that in science class, college, mitochondrial Eve. Why the hell don't call it mitochondrial Adam? This is white people. Why don't they call it mitochondrial Adam? Because you cannot use my mitochondrial DNA to trace back to the origin of humanity. The reason why is because at conception, when I send my sperm into that ovum, before it gets into that egg, the tail breaks off. And the tail is where the mitochondrial DNA vibrates. That's what a male mitochondrial is. But it cannot go on. So you need the woman as the timekeeper that keeps the time of humanity to find out who your great grandmother is. You need the woman. So in the physical realm, the black woman is God, right? As men, we're the nucleus, we're the activators. That's why you see us out here, with all this testosterone. We create, men build pyramids. Men, we build all this. You see all these buildings? Men build all this. So I'm not saying you're not important, nigga. We know the black man is God too, but the black woman is God. If you can sit here and tell me for years with the Nation of Islam that the black man is God, why the fuck I can't tell you in 2016 that the black woman is God? And to set the record straight, because, like my good brother said, he named every teacher, but he didn't name Dr. Malachi Z. York. And Dr. Malachi Z. York He's a father of a lot of this shit. Dr. Malachi York is the first person who killed his ego and said the black woman is God. He made a whole book on it. Who's God, male or female? Mitochondrial DNA. So y'all niggas gonna have to put some respect on his name. Huhi Kaa. Yo, that's the black power.
I'm different, yeah.
Thank you, the black woman is God.
Black woman is God.
Thank you very much.
I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different.